That's right, Rise Nigeria. Good morning. If you're just joining us right here, the Wake Up Abuja show on Montage 99.7 FM. We're live from our audio visual studio here in Wuse, Abuja, Nigeria. All right, so join us on the show this morning. We've got a big show for you. It's going to be fun. All the way up until 10, 7:21 on the clock. Don't forget, I told you, you can watch the show live on YouTube. All right, and on YouTube, you can find our channel. We are Montage 997, right? Montage 99.7 FM on YouTube. Just look us up, you'll find us, and just join the show. Don't forget, I asked you earlier, what's that one word that would describe how your week has been so far? And I told you mine has been, eventful. Yeah, eventful. That's the one word that would describe my week so far, because this week a lot has happened. A lot has happened. First off, the public holidays that I didn't get to enjoy. That's number one. And then, Wednesday had its own drama. Thursday, yesterday came with its own. Today, another one. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, it's eventful. That's the word. So what's that one word? What's that one word that describes your week? Join us. Leave it in the comments on YouTube. We'll check it out and I'll share right here on the show. In the meantime, real quick, let's hook you up with what temperature and climate would look like across major cities here in Nigeria today, the 4th of April. Quickly, here in Abuja, 23 degrees Celsius. That's what it is this morning. The wind is moving southwest at 5 kilometers per hour this morning. It's slightly humid in the Federal Capital Territory at this moment. We're talking 70% humidity. Now let's look through the rest of the morning and through the afternoon. What to look forward to. The weatherman says anticipate sunny periods. Yeah, there's some sunshine today. Temperature will go up to about 35 degrees Celsius through the afternoon. Mainly clear skies as anticipated later tonight, with temperature dropping to something around 21 degrees Celsius. Now, quick move away from Abuja. Let's go to the commercial capital of the continent of Africa, which is Lagos. At the moment, Lagos feels like 34 degrees Celsius, but it's exactly 27 degrees. So it feels warmer than it exactly is in Lagos at the moment. If you're flying into Lagos, you need to know that. Pick the right outfit. If you've got business meeting in Lagos today, be sure to pick an outfit that doesn't make you feel uncomfortable at any point. At the moment, it's extremely humid in Lagos. We're talking 88% humidity. The wind is moving north at 4 kilometers per hour in Lagos this morning. Now, the weatherman says as we look towards the later part of the morning into the afternoon, it's going to be partly sunny with a likelihood of a thunderstorm in parts of Lagos. This afternoon, temperature will get to around 33 degrees Celsius. And later tonight, it's going to be partly cloudy and very warm in Lagos. That's what to look forward to, with temperature somewhere around 27 degrees Celsius as the city turns up. Because I know Lagos don't shut down on a Friday. Nah, doesn't happen, right? Lagos doesn't shut down on a Friday. People turn up all the way into the weekend. Okay, let's leave Lagos for a bit and head inwards. Let's go to the city of the Red Roofs. I tell you, man, I love that city a whole lot. Talking about Ibadan in Oyo State. So if you're going to fly into Ibadan, you need to know at the moment it feels like 28 degrees Celsius, but it's exactly 23 degrees in Ibadan, Nigeria. The wind is moving west-southwest at 8 kilometers per hour this morning in that city. It's extremely humid in the city of Ibadan. We're talking 93% humidity. So drink water and moisturize properly if you're heading into that city. Through the later part of the morning into the afternoon, it's going to be sunny. Temperature hovering around 35 degrees Celsius today. And later tonight, it will drop to about 23 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy skies anticipated as the city of Ibadan goes to bed. Quickly, let's move on from that. I told you we're heading inwards. Let's go to Port Harcourt this morning and quickly look at what they got coming for them. At the moment, feels like 27 degrees Celsius in Port Harcourt, but it's exactly 24 degrees Celsius. The weatherman says at the moment, the wind is moving southwest in the city of Port Harcourt at 7 kilometers per hour. It's very humid with humidity at about 88% this morning. Quick one. Let's look through the rest of the morning, the later part of the morning rather, and into the afternoon. The weatherman says there's going to be broken intervals with occasional rain across the city of Port Harcourt. Some most likelihood of a thunderstorm deep into the afternoon heading in that direction. Temperature will hover around 30 degrees Celsius. Could be more, could be, slightly less than that, but that's what the weatherman says to look forward to if you're flying into Port Harcourt today. Later tonight is going to be partly cloudy in the city of Port Harcourt, the temperature around 23 degrees Celsius. Let's quickly go to Enugu, Nigeria. That's another city that I've got some, emotional and sentimental attachment to. Beautiful city, if you ask me. So if you're flying into Enugu today, you need to know at the moment it's 25 degrees Celsius, but it kind of feels like 29, according to what the weatherman is saying. Kind of feels warmer than 25 degrees Celsius. The wind is moving southeast in Enugu at the moment at 6 kilometers per hour. You've got another reason to moisturize your skin and drink water. Drink a lot of water because it's extremely humid in Enugu. So if you're going to be flying in there, you need to be cautious. All right, we're talking humidity at 95%. Now, quick one. Let's look through the later part of the morning into the afternoon. What to look forward to. The weatherman says variable cloudiness with a thunderstorm in parts of Enugu. It's going to get hot at some point in Enugu in the afternoon. And, I would advise you avoid spending long periods out under the sun today. All right? Simple. UV rays is a concern, especially with the kind of sunshine that's anticipated and the kind of heat that's anticipated in Enugu. So be careful. All right, be careful. Temperature might hit 37 degrees Celsius today in the city of Enugu. Later tonight, it's going to get increasingly cloudy, with temperature staying somewhere around 24 degrees Celsius. And just might feel like that for most parts of the southeast today. Quick move. Let's move off to Kano, and that's where we'll wrap it up this morning. If you're going to be flying into Kano, or maybe to spend a weekend with family, or you've got a business meeting to catch up with this morning, it's 21 degrees Celsius in Kano. Slightly dry in Kano, so make sure you have a bottle of water with you. Sip, gradually. 25% humidity, that's what it is in Kano at the moment. Later this morning and into the afternoon, it's going to be very warm with hazy sunshine. That's what the weatherman says to look forward to, with temperature somewhere around 40 degrees Celsius later in the afternoon. Tonight, clear skies is what to expect, with temperature dropping to somewhere around 18 degrees Celsius. That's your weather update this morning. Thank you so much, and I hope it guides you, make the right decision as you make moves today. Right, 7:28 on the clock. Let's get right back into the music. Sports Montage comes right up. All the big stories from the world of sports with Richie Rich. Here is Olivia Rodrigo. Bad idea, right? To do the wrong thing. So stay right this morning.
Haven't heard from you in a couple of months, but I'm out right now and I'm all wrapped up. And you're calling my phone, you're all alone, and I'm sensing some undertone. And I'm right here with all my friends, but you're sending me your new address. And I
FM.
It's the sports montage.
He is the bully of the big boys.
Where the action never stops.
Fearful of no one, better than almost everyone.
From the buzzer beaters
to the championship tops, we've got the plays, the stats, the hype, the rage. Tune in now for your sports montage. Scores, stories, and the games you love.
Ilkay Gundogan got big at the back stick.
We're talking sports. Rise above. Sports montage. Your ultimate stage for every highlight, every page. Weekdays, 7:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. Only on Montage 99.7 FM, Abuja. Sports montage. Live it, love it, feel it. It is 7:33 live here at Montage 99.7 FM. Good morning to you and welcome. It's Sports Montage on your radio, and we go straight to the headlines. Chelsea edge past Tottenham at Stamford Bridge. Arsenal's Gabriel out for rest of the season. Norris sets the fastest pace in Japanese Grand Prix Practice 1. I'll be looking at these stories and others this morning here on Sports Montage. Pretty much sure I didn't introduce myself. I am Richie. Welcome you once again to the show. Let's start with the Chelsea story. They defeated their London rivals Tottenham 1-0 on Thursday, thanks to a goal by Argentina's Enzo Fernandez, which restored the Blues to 4th place in the Premier League and boosting their chances of playing Champions League football next season. Fernandez was left unmarked to head home in the 50th minute from a perfect inch cross by Cole Palmer on the England forward's return from a brief injury absence in front of England coach Thomas Tuchel, who was at the Stamford Bridge. Chelsea thought they had a second goal soon after, but Moses Caicedo's volley was ruled out after a VAR check for offside. It was a turn of Spurs to have their celebrations dashed when substitute Pape Matar scored in the 69th minute. A shot from outside the box was ruled out for a foul in the build-up by the Senegalese midfielder. The win restored Chelsea to top 4, 1 point clear of Manchester City in 5th and 2 ahead of Newcastle United, who are in 6th position, but with a game in hand as the race for the Champions League qualification position thickens up. Tottenham, whose miserable run at Stamford Bridge now stands at 1 in the league in 40 attempts, stayed in 14th position with their hopes of European competition next season dependent on their ability to win the Europa League. Chelsea coach Enzo Maresca roared to the heavens and hugged his coaching staff of the final whistle and a visible sign of relief after a patchy run, which included a limp 1-0 defeat by Arsenal in the side's last league match. Well, away from that, there are injury concerns concerning with regards to Arsenal. Their defender, Gabriel Magalhaes, will be requiring surgery on his hamstring as he got injured in their last fixture, where they won narrowly 1-0. This was confirmed on Thursday. The 27-year-old was replaced by Jakob Kivior in the 16th minute of Arsenal's 2-1 win over Fulham on Tuesday, with head coach Mikel Arteta admitting he was worried about the Brazil international. But according to a statement posted by Arsenal, Gabi will be undergoing a surgical repair procedure to his hamstring in the coming days and immediately begin his recovery and rehabilitation program with the aim to be ready for the start of next season. The statement goes on to read that everyone at the club will be fully focused on supporting Gabby to ensure his back to full fitness as soon as possible. The centre-back's injury is the latest in a long list of issues suffered by some of Arsenal's key players. Their absences have played a part in scoopering the North London's hopes of challenging Liverpool for the Premier League. Forwards Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus are also missing for the rest of the campaign, which has also seen Saka, Martin Odegaard, Ben White, Gabriel Martinelli absent for long periods this season through injury. The Gunners will take on Everton at Goodison Park on Saturday before hosting Real Madrid in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final on the 8th of April. Well, there's some reporter from the PGMOL. They've admitted that Everton defender James Tarkowski should have been sent off through a VAR review in the Merseyside derby on Wednesday night. Tarkowski was booked by referee Sam Barrott in an 11th minute challenge on Liverpool midfielder Alexis McAllister, and the VAR Portieri opted not to advise that it shouldn't be upgraded to a red. The referee's body has conceded that the nature of the follow-through met the threshold of serious foul play, and a review should have been recommended and the original decision overturned. Liverpool head coach Anna Slaughter said after the game he was not surprised that James Tarkowski was not sent off. Diego Jota scored the only goal at Anfield as Liverpool edged past their City rivals to restore their 12-point advantage at the top of the Premier League. Well, England head coach Sarina Vigman has said UK's likely hosting of the 2035 World Cup is so exciting and will provide another boost to women's football. FIFA President Gianni Infantino said on Thursday that the United States and the United Kingdom are poised to be named as hosts of the Women's World Cup in 2031 and 2035. Infantino said that the joint bid from England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland was the only valid bid of interest for the 2035 tournament after the deadline passed, with the United States also putting forward the only bid for the 2031 bid of the World Cup. Well, let's go to Europe, where a push, still in Europe, a push to expand the men's 2030 World Cup to 64 teams, according to Alexander Seferin, the UEFA president. He says it's a bad idea. Seferin is a FIFA vice president who was part of a March 6 online meeting of the World Football Bodies Ruling Council when the unexpected proposal was made by a delegate from Uruguay. He says he thinks it is a bad idea for the World Cup to be that large. Adding 16 more teams to the 48-team lineup that will debut next year in North America appears to have support from FIFA President Gianni Infantino, who typically backs competition expansion as a way to raise money and drive development of the game globally. Critics of the 64-team proposal have argued that it will weaken the quality of play in what would likely be a sprawling 128-game format and devalue the qualifying program in most continents with extra entries on offer. UEFA has 16 entries in the 2026 World Cup, which the United States will co-host with Canada and Mexico. It reset the European qualifying format with more groups, now 12, and many more teams playing fewer games spread over just 10 weeks from September through November this year. Seferin also cast doubt on the origin of the idea from Uruguay, which is set to host one game in 2030 in what is already the most complex World Cup across 3 continents to celebrate the tournament's centenary. UEFA members Spain and Portugal are co-hosting with Morocco, but agreed to let South American neighbors Argentina, Paraguay and Uruguay have one game each to mark the 100-year anniversary. The 1930 edition was hosted by Uruguay. Infantino made a keynote speech earlier on Thursday to UEFA's 55 member federations, though made no reference to a 64-team World Cup. FIFA has given no details of how and when it will consider the proposal, as FIFA has its annual Congress of 211 member federations on the 15th of May in Paraguay capital Asunción. Well, go to Spain where there's some good news for Barcelona. Dani Olmo and Pau Victor are now eligible to play for the Catalan side for the rest of the season. This was confirmed by the Spain's National Sports Council. La Liga granted Barcelona temporary licenses to register Olmo and Victor last summer, but later revoked their registrations after claiming the club had failed to prove they were complying with the league's financial rules by the deadline of 31st of December. Well, for the Spain ruling body, they give Barcelona permission to temporarily reinstate the pair following an appeal in January. But within the week, La Liga said that the club do not have the financial capacity to register the forwards. But the CSD and all the agreement between the Spanish top flight and the country's football federation, the RFEF. The CSD said the two players' registrations remain valid as the RFEF acknowledged that there is no federation resolution that agreed to the cancellation of the licenses and that its decision is not to grant a license is null and void. La Liga said it will appeal this decision. In a statement during the week, La Liga said it has lowered Barca's wage cap after irregularities with the end of the year accounting for the 2024-2025 season. Barca had announced a deal on the 3rd of January to sell VIP boxes at the club's Camp Nou stadium, which has been rebuilt to raise 100 million euros in order to meet La Liga's financial fair play rules and extend registrations of Olmo and Victor. Olmo was part of Barca's academy before leaving to play for Dinamo Zagreb and RB Leipzig. Barca paid £52 million to reunite the Spain international with Barcelona, and he has featured 28 times this season, including 13 since that CSD ruling. Victor also came through Barcelona's famed La Masia Academy and now has played 22 times this term, with 5 of the appearances coming since the ruling of the CSD. Let's just move away from that story now. Let's go to some highlights from the NBA. It was a really fine display between the Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Lakers. A 113-116 victory for the Golden State Warriors early on Thursday morning. Or rather, you could say Thursday night and our Friday morning. The victory keeps Golden State Warriors at number 5 in the Western Conference and moves Los Angeles from number 3 to number 4. The Warriors avoided a regular season sweep against the Lakers, going 1-3 against them. Stephen Curry led the Warriors with 38 points, while Brandon Podziemski added 28, aided by his 8 3-pointers. LeBron James also was firing for his Lakers side. He got 33 points, 9 assists for the Lakers, as Austin Reeves also hit 31 points. Luka Doncic scored 19 points with 8 rebounds and 7 assists. The Warriors are now 13-0 when Curry, Podziemski, Moses Moody, Jimmy Butler III, and Draymond Green start together this season, according to some research. The two teams won't face off again in the regular season, but with the tight Western Conference standings, a matchup in the postseason isn't out of question. And we'll be looking at other results from the NBA. Let's go to Formula One, where we've got a Japanese Grand Prix lined up for this weekend, and Lando Norris has just been in fine form. He topped first practice for McLaren at the Japanese Grand Prix just moments after going off track as he struggled with handling of his MCL 39. Norris delivered a time of an hour 28.549 to defeat Mercedes' George Russell by 0.163 seconds. Despite the setting of the fastest time, the Drivers' Championship leader sounded agitated over team radio as he complained of a tire graining during his longer run later in the season, while his teammate Oscar Piastri was only 15th after making errors on his flying lap attempts. Well, we'll be following through with everything concerning Formula One this weekend. Surely by Monday I'll be reeling out the results and, of course, how things finished in the Formula One. Let's get to some talking points, and we start with the game played in England yesterday. It was a London derby between Chelsea and Tottenham. Well, for Chelsea. They put in fine work. Tottenham felt betrayed by the referee, or you could say the VAR, when they scored an equalizer, what should have been an equalizer. It didn't really work out for them because there was a foul leading to that, and it did look like a serious foul, and that was chopped off for Tottenham. For Enzo Maresca, he has been in the conversation of those managers who might get the boot at the end of the season, or get a hammer at the end of the season, but he has helped his side to get victory as of yesterday. And well, you could see the tenacity of Chelsea yesterday if you had watched that game. Enzo Maresca's side put in more than extra against Tottenham, and Tottenham also could not deliver when it mattered the most for them. Missed a few chances, and for Robert Sanchez, he must be a man who would sleep with a lot of relief, because that goal scored by Pape Sarr was a blunder. It would have cost him a lot of racist slurs and abuse on the social media, but the VAR helped him yesterday. We'll get to hear from Enzo Maresca talk about his side's performance against Tottenham.
Very important, first of all, because of the performance. We know how important it is in this moment to win games, but since we start, we try to win games in the way we want. And I think tonight the performance was very good, and we are happy. No, it was a different game compared to before international break. I said yesterday in the press conference, the last 4 games at home was Leicester, Southampton, West Ham and Wolves. 4 teams that they sit back and wait for us. Tonight, Tottenham is a different kind of games, so for us in some ways better. So we probably from outside, but it's just a matter of different kind of games. We are together already 9 months. To be honest, I don't know how long we're gonna be together, but until the day that I will be here, I will tell you that our game plan depends on the opposite. We don't do the same game plan. We cannot do the same game plan against Tottenham and against Leicester, because they play completely in different way. So tonight we use more ball in behind. Is because of Tottenham, the way they defend, the way they press. And Nico, for us, since we start, I said many times that he's an important player because he's a threat. He's a threat for the defensive line. Off the ball, he's pressing everyone. For sure, with the Nico, we are a different team.
Of course, you could tell exactly that great feeling for Enzo Maresca. He went on to talk about Cole Palmer and also the fans, his expectations from the fans. But let's hear from him talk about Cole Palmer, who has had a lot of criticism from maybe some neutral fans who expected him to do more, but he's been injured. His form has not been at the best in recent weeks, but he's just back from injury, and he created that assist yesterday for Chelsea. Let's hear from Enzo Maresca talk about Palmer.
I think Cole Palmer performance tonight was very similar to the rest of the performance. The only difference is that in the previous performance he didn't score, he didn't assist, and because he's a top player and probably the best player we have, every time he didn't score or didn't assist, it's a news. But for me, it's something normal. I said many times that we cannot rely on Cole for every game. We cannot expect Cole every game scoring assist. And tonight the assist for Enzo was top assist. Enzo was in the right position, so very happy for them.
A lot of fans are happy for the man Palmer. He also talked about the fans. Yes, let's hear from him.
No, I was just focused on how we, try to win the game, and probably also because it was a derby. In this moment, all the games, they are important, so probably also for that reason. But I have to say that my feeling from the bench tonight was that we had the best environment since we started the season with the fans. I was very happy with the way the fans they were tonight, with them in the way they were tonight. We're gonna achieve important things because they push us, they help us. So I'm very happy, and please, if they can do the same until the end, is good for us.
We'd also hear from Ange Postecoglou talk about his side. They were not really given their best yesterday, because it eventually ended with Tottenham losing that game. For Ange Postecoglou, he talked about the performance of his side and also looked at the fans too, who have booed some of his decisions, whether it's a substitution or maybe the tactics deployed to play the games. He would also get to respond to that. But first of all, let's hear from him talk about the performance of his side against Chelsea.
Yeah, tough game. It always is when you come here, obviously. It was tight. We had to fight hard to stay in it, which I think we did fairly well, obviously. Biggs pulled off a big save, and we had to defend pretty strongly at times. Always a threat going the other way. Maybe should have been a little bit more clinical in that front third, but I thought we were in the game, and then we just conceded a really poor goal, which we've been doing too often. That's costing us, and that's really disappointing. But I thought our response from that was really good, positive. We obviously. We did equalise, and then obviously that got ruled out, and then we had a couple of big chances towards the end. Really disappointed to not get something out of the game. Jeez, mate, it's incredible how things get interpreted.
Unfortunate for Tottenham, they have not gotten things right going for them. We'd also hear from him talk about the frustration of the fans. It's building up, but this is how he feels about it.
We just scored. I just wanted to hear him cheer, because we've been through a tough time, and I thought it was a cracking goal, and I wanted them to get really excited, because I felt at that point we could potentially go on and win the game. I just felt momentum was on our way. It doesn't bother me that it's not the first time they've booed my substitutions or my decisions. That's fine. They're allowed to do that, but we just scored a goal. We just scored equaliser. I was just hoping that we could get some excitement. People want to read into that somehow I'm trying to make a point about something. I felt, we've been through a tough time, but I just felt there was a bit of a momentum shift there, and if they can get really behind the lads, I thought we had the momentum to finish on top of them. Oh, look, John, you know what? I am at such a disconnect with the world these days that who knows, mate, maybe you're right. I don't know, but that's not what my intention was. Again, Matt, I don't know. It just doesn't affect me. If that's what the fans feel, and if they feel that I'm not doing a good job, then they've got every right to express it. They pay their hard earned. They follow the club. They're the ones that will be here long after I'm gone. So it doesn't affect me. What I kind of try and focus on is the things I can control. I can't control fans. I can't control many things, but I can control our football, the way we play and the way we conduct ourselves, and that's what I concentrate on.
You would understand that the man is frustrated, surely, with the performances of Tottenham. I wish him all the best. I don't know how long he's going to stay between him and Enzo Maresca. You could tell me who you think will get fired first. 0705 599 997 or 0705 597 997. That number you could also get to reach me on 0705 597 997 or 0705 599 997. Pretty easy numbers to reach me on this morning. I will not be staying for long here, but subsequently we'll be taking a lot more calls on the show. Yesterday we saw Besiktas lose to Gustapi 3-1 yesterday. For the man who is really hot on the continent, Victor Gyökeres, he scored a goal yesterday for Sporting as they defeated Rio Ave 2-0 yesterday. We also saw some of the results. Let's just go straight to the fixtures for today in football. We've got Rayo Vallecano take on Espanyol at 8 this evening. Augsburg will be welcoming Bayern Munich at 7:30, while in Italy, Udinese go away to Genoa in France, Nice will welcome Nantes at 7:45. The Genoa fixture is also at 7:45. You could watch out for that game. We've got tennis tournaments going on in different parts of the world. We've got our Grand Prix, Hassan II in Marrakesh here in Africa. Going on. We've got fixtures in Triaca too. The Charleston Open has been the one that's provided us with a lot of interesting fixtures and results. We saw Sofia Kenin defeat Daria Casastina 6-3, 7-6 early this morning. So these are some of the games. Probably look at how it will pan out on Monday. Who gets to win some of these ATP 250, ATP 500 games, WTA 500 games going on. So for the ATP, it's just 250 going on. For the WTA, it's WTA 500 going on at the moment. I can't stay any longer. I just want to say thank you for being part of the show this morning. Before I leave you, you should know about this amazing fact before I just walk away from the studio this morning. In case you do not know, Thursday's defeat for Tottenham made it... okay, let me take that again. Thursday's victory for Chelsea made it Chelsea's very first, or rather, I guess it's a little bit muddled up at the moment for me. Okay, let me take that pretty slow here. For yesterday, or you could say Thursday, at the Stamford Bridge, it became a fact that Chelsea have beaten Tottenham 1-0 at Stamford Bridge, only winning one more match without conceding against Newcastle United. That was the 14th time Chelsea have beaten Tottenham 1-0 at Stamford Bridge. So yes, it got muddled up with my script here, so just couldn't get it right at first. So yes, that is the fact you should go about town with today. The Wake Up Abuja show will be continuing with UG the Phenom. There's a lot more of conversations, a press scoop, extended version coming through this morning. Keep it locked here at Montage 99.7 FM. Enjoy your beautiful Friday. The weekend is upon us. We've got great music and fine conversations here. I am Richie. Good morning to you.
It's the Sports Montage,
He is the bully of the big boys.
where the action never stops.
Fearful of no one, better than almost everyone.
From the buzzer beaters
To the championship tops, we've got the plays, the stats, the hype, the rage. Tune in now for your Sports Montage. Scores, stories, and the games you love.
Ilkay Gundogan got big at the back stick.
We're talking sports. Rise above. Sports Montage, your ultimate stage for every highlight, every page. Weekdays, 7:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. Only on Montage 99.7 FM, Abuja. Sports Montage. Live it, love it, feel it.
Abuja, wake up loud.
Mornings just got hotter.
Fresher and way more exciting. Get the hottest hits,
The latest news,
real talk, traffic, and weather updates. Crazy giveaways
viral trends
and non-stop energy.
to kickstart your day.
It's the Wake Up Abuja show with UG the Phenom,
With UG the Phenom
your worst bad habit on
on
radio.
radio. Weekdays, 5 to 10 a.m. on Montage
99.
99.7 FM, Abuja. Turn up.
Stay locked and let's own the morning.
From the classics you love to the hits you can't stop playing. Back into time. Montage 99.7 FM brings you the perfect mix. Adult contemporary music right here in Abuja.
Hey, I'm Matt Stockman from Onda Paz Radio in Barcelona, and I'm chilling with UG the Phenom right here on
Montage 99.7 FM.
Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. In every life we have some trouble. But when you worry, you make it double. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Ain't got no place to lay your head. Somebody came and took your bed. Don't worry. Be happy. The landlord say your rent is late. He may have to litigate. Don't worry. Be happy. Look at me, I'm happy. Don't worry. Be happy. I give you my phone number. When you worry, call me. I make you happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Ain't got no cash, ain't got no style, ain't got no gal to make you smile, but don't worry. Be happy. Cause when you worry, your face will frown, and that will bring everybody down. So don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Now there is this song I wrote. I hope you learned it note for note like good little children. Don't worry. Be happy. Listen to what I say. In your life, expect some trouble. But when you worry, you make it double. But don't worry. Be happy. Be happy now. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't do it. Be happy. Put a smile on your face. Don't bring everybody down like this. Don't worry. It will soon pass, whatever it is. Don't worry, be happy.
From the classics you love to the hits you can't stop playing.
Back into time.
Montage 99.7 FM brings you the perfect mix. Adult contemporary music right here in Abuja.
Yeah. What have you done to me? I don't know. Yeah. What have you done to me? I don't know. Believe me, believe me, believe me. It got to be you. I need you. I need you for my family. Believe me, believe me. It got to be you. I need you. I need you for my family. It must be you. It must be you. Oh, I'm weak. I need you. I need you for my family. It must be you. It must be you. Oh, I'm weak. I need you. I need you for my family. Oh, baby, oh. Been in love with you for days. Done there with you for so long. Show more. I'm crazy, oh. Girl, I'm crazy over you. Now waiting man go do to make you know. What you want, believe if you know, believe me. I will not deceive, do not deceive me. And my love go past the love you give me. If I follow your hand, I beg delete. What you want, believe if you know, believe me. I will not deceive, do not deceive me. And my love go past the love you give me. If I follow your hand, I beg delete me. Yeah. What have you done to me? I don't know. Yeah. What have you done to me? I don't know. Believe me, believe me, believe me. It got to be you. I need you. I need you for my family. It must be you. It must be you. Oh, I'm weak. I need you. I need you. My pretty, pretty, sweetie, sweetie. Like I give you my name. Oh, yeah, follow me, let's go. Bend down low. Follow me, make we go. My pretty, pretty, sweetie, sweetie. Make I give you my name. Oh, yeah, follow me, let's go. Bend down low. Follow me, make we go. What you want, believe if you know, believe me. I will not deceive, do not deceive me. And my love go past the love you give me. If I follow your hand, I beg delete. What do you want, believe if you know, believe me. I will not deceive, do not deceive me. And my love go past the love you give me. If I follow your hand, I beg delete me. Yeah.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gold, I've been far away. I'm illuminated, now I make a move, starting waves. I've been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they want a coastline. Yeah, artificially intelligent away. I'm your future, past, and present. I'm a fine line. Yeah, I'm a missing link of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just float. I don't need gravity, I just need growth. When I move, it's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble. When I move, it's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.
the 4th of April. Well, it's still a new month, but hey, I mean, think about it. 4 days and counting already. The second quarter of the year is off to a great start. I think that it started off nice, right? Second quarter starting off with a public holiday, right?
For those who enjoy public holidays.
Yeah. Why do you sound angry?
Because you know why. It's something I do not find joy in.
Have you ever had a public holiday?
Nah.
When was the last time?
I think it was when I was in school. And yeah, when I was in school, because you'd stop school for a public holiday. When I left school, I stayed like a year before I went for service. Then yes, as a core member, I enjoyed a public holiday and they would always argue with us like, there's no public holiday in a media house.
Yeah.
You should be like, we're co-pass. Don't stress us.
I don't know. Would the word for me be unfortunate? Because I think the last time I enjoyed a public holiday might be like 20 years ago.
I don't understand what a public holiday is. I don't understand the excitement for people.
Might be like 20 years ago. That's the last time ever for me.
Maybe I have a little resentment towards those who enjoy a public holiday because you just have to work.
No, but don't hate them.
Well,
don't hate the player.
I hate the game. I hate the game.
All right, here, I mean, we ain't got a choice than to make sure that your mornings are a little litty. So whether public holiday or not, we've got you right here on the Wake Up Abuja show. We're always going to come in. Always going to come in for you. So you can trust, you can bet your last buck on that. And you're definitely going to have money in your pockets in return. That's free. All right. Well, it's time for us to take a look at the headlines. Let's bring you the scoop from the front pages this morning here on the Wake Up Abuja show. Do stay with us.
Stay informed, stay ahead. The biggest headlines, the hottest stories, and the analysis that matters, all in one place. Join us and press Scoop as we break down the top stories from print and online media with expert insights and real conversations. Got an opinion? We want to hear it. Share your thoughts and reactions to the biggest headlines of the day. Weekdays from 8 a.m. on the Wake Up Abuja show, only on Montage 99.7 FM Abuja, where the news meets you.
And we definitely go straight to the business that matters this morning, which is bringing you the scoop from the front pages. Love to do that every day right here. Comes your way Mondays through Friday from the 8 o'clock hour. So, yep, you're welcome to be part of it. It's pretty interactive, right? And we would love for you to engage with us, share your thoughts, share your opinion, share your feelings, share your reaction. All of that, bring it on this morning. We want to hear it. All right. Now, there's many ways to join the show. I promised you at the start of the week that we're working on a few stuff, and some of that stuff already began to materialize. So, first off, you can watch the show live at the moment. You can watch live on Facebook and YouTube. Just look us up, Montage 99.7 FM. You'll find us. And, join the show, share your thoughts, share your reactions, share your opinions. If there's a headline catching your attention, just jump in there, and let us know what headline it is, from what paper, and then go ahead and share your reaction. So if you're a YouTube person, you could join us via YouTube. If you're a Facebook person, you could join us via Facebook to share your thoughts. It would really, really be nice, really be nice to hear from you. All right, really be nice to hear from you. So don't hold back. Now, don't forget also, I like to remind that the headlines on the papers or here on the press scoop is not our opinion on the issue. It's a function of the editorial policy of the media houses that publish these papers. Our duty is to read you the headlines and start off a conversation that you can be a part of. And so, always be guided when you call in. Don't misconstrue things. Don't misconstrue things. But remember also, do your best to read the stories. Don't just react based on the headlines, because most times these headlines could just be to catch your attention. It could be misleading. All right, so make sure you read the stories and then engage with us here. Let's do that this morning. It will be nice. That'll be nice. Let's do that. Okay. Real quick, we've got our eyes on the Business Day newspaper. We've got our eyes on the Leadership newspaper. The Guardian newspaper is here. We'll look at that. Hopefully, we could. We'll do the New National Star also. We've got that with us this morning, and then maybe the cable. .ng. We'll try as much as we can to look at that online platform also for you. This week we've looked at Premium Times, we've looked at Sahara Reporters, so yep, it won't be out of place to look at the cable. So let's do that. We'll look at the cable.ng and see what headlines they've got on that news website this morning. Interesting stuff. UG the Phenom be my name. Richard Rich is here. And together we're sure to have swell time, doing this extended press scoop on Montage 99.7 FM. Now, quick one. We'll start off as always. We'll start off from the New National Star today. Let's see how the headlines on the New National Star looks this morning. Now, kickstarting from the New National Star.
All right, we've got this from the New National Star saying Bill Clinton's ex-aide tells Trump, if I were you, I'll resign as president. Okay, U.S. new tariffs, you lack such powers. NCLA drags Trump to court. We also have this saying, Sule, governors back federal government on tax reform bills. Okay, we also have a reaction to Val Kilmer's passing. Tom Cruise speaks out, and if you had watched that last Tom Cruise movie, there was a tribute to Val Kilmer, and it was really touching seeing everyone play that video of what would have maybe, I could say, that could stand as a fitting goodbye to him, knowing what he had contributed to Hollywood and for those fans who have been following him throughout the years. I think that was just in the movie.
I think that he made his mark.
Yes, he did.
Val Kilmer has left a huge vacuum. I doubt if there's an actor, irrespective of how skilled, that would be able to match what Val Kilmer, or the vacuum that Val Kilmer's passing has left in the movie industry. Especially for those who are fans of his, it'll be hard. It'll be pretty hard.
Pretty hard. He set that pace, and there were conversations concerning how the industry treated him when he had throat cancer. He didn't really get as much support as he wanted. He put that down in his, you could say, documentary a few years ago, how he didn't get all the support he needed, but he struggled, he fought hard. Unfortunately, the sickness got the better of him eventually.
It's just sad and heartbreaking. But let's know if anything from the New National Star catches your attention, and there's numerous ways to join us this morning. Remember, the phone lines 0703 0705 rather 599 9997. Once again, 0705 599 9997. There's also 0705 597 9997. 0705 597 9997. Let's go over to the Business Day real quick. Let's see some business headlines this morning. Nigeria recognizes cryptocurrencies as securities in landmark legal shift. Nigeria recognizes cryptocurrencies as securities in landmark legal shift. Now that's interesting, especially coming from recent past where the CBN sent a circular out to banks warning them about cryptocurrency and allowing their platforms to be used. So we'll see how this affects things.
Maybe the CBN would appeal this or not, but if they don't appeal it, then they should also send messages to banks, because once anyone puts a description crypto in any transfer to you, that's account is immediately flagged, and you can't use that account for a very long while. Yeah, so
well, this was made possible by a bill that was passed, right? that's become an act. That's talking about the Investments and Securities Act 2025, which repeals and replaces the Investment and Securities Act number 29 of 2007. It was signed by President Bola Tinubu recently, and so that automatically, I think would override that instruction from the CBN to banks, when it comes to using their platform. Because if you look at that act, it explicitly recognizes virtual and digital assets and investment contracts as securities, and brings virtual assets service providers, digital asset operators, and digital asset exchanges under the Security and Exchange Commission's regulatory purview.
There's a lot of breaking down to be done for a regular person who is reading this story this morning. Hopefully, things are a lot more clearer, and maybe Nigerians know exactly what to do going forward. Because part of the reason why this was banned was after the NSAS movement, a lot of money was
funding for it was said to have come from
for the
digital assets and stuff
for the different protests, and they felt this was also aiding some levels of terrorism. And it shouldn't be hard to pin and figure out where money is going to.
But when you talk about aiding terrorism, it will take me back. You talk about aiding and funding terrorism. It will take me back. Do you remember that at some point, the UAE put out a list of people who were financing terrorism? There was word that some Nigerians were on that list.
That list
there
was
a
made
clamor from Nigerians that the government names and shames those whose names appeared on that list. Till tomorrow, has there been anything? There's been times when some persons have been fingered as financiers. I'm not even talking about the UAE now. I'm saying locally. Some persons have been fingered as financiers.
And
some of them
has been done.
Holding political office. And nothing happened. There's been videos of governors meeting with known terrorists. Who in those videos
to appeal to
even
their
had weapons that were not licensed.
To appeal
holding
to
weapons
their
and speaking to the government.
To speak the truth to them.
And nothing has happened.
Make them realize that what they were doing was wrong. Because sometimes when you have unlicensed weapon, you don't know what you're doing is wrong. So it was more of an encouragement to let them understand this thing you have embarked on is not good.
I see.
Stop it.
I see.
Because we don't like it.
I see.
Gentle nudging towards the right thing. Almost diplomacy. Almost diplomacy, but we're not going to talk much about that.
Okay, well, since I'm glad that this law has,
sometimes
changed
it's funny how some rules are made without looking at the bigger issues. You're choosing to chase shadows when there's a figure that you are seeing that this is the cause of the problem. I think there was a time, I think it was the former CBN governor who had to cut down trees where you had the local bureau de change here in Abuja. He felt that cutting down trees there, worsening the ecosystem in that part of that place, would really affect the way a foreign exchange was rated in the country. And I think there was also another website which people usually went to check FX rates. They also banned them, saying they were affecting FX rates. And these were incidents that made a lot of people ask questions. These professionals who have been in this field for this long study something else, carpentry engineering, or did they actually study something that has to do with finances and all of that? So I don't have much questions to ask. We'll just move on.
Well, I mean, all we ask for is that things happen differently, things happen better, that we don't keep chasing shadows, in your words. that we don't keep chasing shadows. But let's look at the riders to that headline. Ponzi scheme promoters face 10-year jail term. There's another one. SEC empowered to obtain user data from telcos. That's what the new law does, empower the Securities and Exchange Commission to do. It starts off on the cover page of the Business Day newspaper and then continues on page 31. Onion industry, profits in every peel. I love that headline. Onion industry, profit in every peel. It starts off on the cover page. Let's give you a little bit of detail to that one. Rising global demand for onions is creating a lucrative opportunity for investors to tap into processing and export, unlocking new revenue streams in Nigeria's agricultural sector. Nigeria's onion production has witnessed significant growth, positioning the country as a top grower of the crop globally. With an annual production of approximately 2 million metric tons, Nigeria ranks second place in Africa and seventh globally when it comes to onion production. Now, the country boasts a robust onion markets, supplying neighboring African nations such as Cote d'Ivoire, Niger, Ghana, Benin, Chad, Cameroon, and Senegal. You've got more details on page 30. My question is, would the federal government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, look into investing in at least onion? Let's become number one in the world when it comes to production. We're number 7 currently. Can we become number 1 in the world? Would state governments begin to look at how to invest? States where onion grows, are you going to look at how to invest, get more land, hectares
all year round? Because
yeah,
it gets to a point where
onion becomes scarce,
very scarce,
and then it becomes very expensive. So can you invest? Can universities of agriculture begin to look at research into onions? Can we look at research that gives knowledge and information into the value chain for onions, so that we do not have to export the agri produce and import byproducts that we could have produced here, just like we do cocoa, but we import chocolate. We spend millions of dollars importing chocolate every year, but cocoa grows here. But the problem, we do not have processing, manufacturing. So
and I hear cocoa actually earns you top dollar, because it's a rarity to get the quality of cocoa you can get here in the country. So if you have a cocoa farm, you probably have armed security around it, because you could have invaders come steal some of your produce.
That's right. So again, the question is, what would the government do to create the enabling environment? We saw government create enabling environment for rice. We saw the progress we made under the President Muhammadu Buhari administration. Can we replicate that in onions? Can we look at cocoa and replicate that? The North used to be known for groundnut. Can we go back there? And that's why from time to time, when a minister for agriculture is appointed, I look at the person's portfolio. Many times, whether minister or commissioner at state level, we appoint briefcase farmers, political farmers.
Those who have ideas but have never really gone to the field.
They do not have ideas. Many times they do not have ideas. They just go there as, with all due respect, class captains in the ministry.
But these things aren't supposed to be extremely hard these days.
I mean, typically, how do you appoint, for instance, do you go and pick a civil engineer and make him minister for health? No. You pick a doctor. You make a doctor minister for health. Why not find a farmer who has had his hands in the soil for a long time, that has practical experience, has a huge thriving farm, and can replicate his success story across the country?
It's really down to the fact that most appointments are made out of some level of compensation. It almost suffices for the sports ministry. Most times you have those who take over the sports ministry not having any experience in sports administration, or maybe even
have never involved in any sport.
In any sports.
So they don't even know the emotions, the sentiments that the
They have no
sportsmen
idea.
and women
They're
go
just
through.
going to
The
come
athletes
through,
go through.
look at the PAMSEC there. Hopefully the PAMSEC is willing to nudge them towards the right direction, and he just keeps going with the flow. And you really don't have a square peg in a square hole, or a square peg getting into that square position. But then again, it is a Nigerian thing, not having the right people get into positions just because you've got to make a certain group of people happy to say, hey, thank you for your support while I was contesting. Let me have your list. Oh, there's your guy. I don't know where to put him. Just give him agric, or give him sports, or give him one other ministry, and you don't look at the ripple effect of that decision in another 3 to 4 years. Even if the person is staying for 2 years, would the person create damage that will last more than 4 years, or even 8 years? Those are the questions that I do not think most of the leaders get to look at before making their decisions. And you'd look at one of the presidents. We had a very a first one when democracy was reintroduced in 1999. He had a lot of technocrats working with him. So even if you had complaints concerning his style of leadership, he had people who knew their onion, and they were given opportunity to deliver some of the things. And you could tell within that 8 years how the economy was improved to an extent. But a story for another day.
I worry a whole lot. I think that the only time in recent times that the Ministry of Agriculture has gotten, someone who had the experience, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, will be under President Muhammadu Buhari. The current minister, I'm yet to look through his portfolio and fact check that portfolio, because it's one thing to have very robust CV. It's another thing for that CV to be a reflection of the reality around you, right? But if you remember, under President Muhammadu Buhari in his first term, there was Chief Audu Ogbe as Minister of Agriculture, right? And you saw the progress that was made within that stint when he was Minister for Agriculture, before the president revamped his cabinet, right? And that impact was possible because you had somebody who is a farmer, who understands farming, who understands agriculture, who understands the agribusiness. Because when you talk about agriculture, there are two sides to it. There is farming. In fact, there's more than two sides. There's farming, there's livestock, and then there's the blue economy. Do you understand? There's fishing. There's everything that comes from the water. There are species of this, aquatic life that are exclusive. It's exclusive to just this part of the world. And we can become global players with that. But what are we doing about it?
The other day I was thinking about tea. I think I went to a mall and I saw tea made in Nigeria. It should be within the Taraba
Mambila axis.
Yes,
Mambila grows,
plateau. That should be one of our big exports if it is packaged well. That could be something that we could really hold on to, because in some parts of the world, tea is a thing. It might not be a huge
in some parts of the world, go to Kenya.
It might not be a big thing here, but
go to Kenya.
We can push this outside the shores of the country, and also encourage our people. This is tea grown here in the nation. There's no need to patronize some of the foreign teas that you have there. Patronize what you have here.
Even the tea from the Mambila Plateau, I'm sure if that tea actually came from there, when you check the packaging, you will see that it was the owners will tell you that it was made abroad just so that Nigerians can buy it.
That's why you need to sit down with your local manufacturers and look at what they have, look at global best practices. How can you adapt? How can you help them? Are you going to give them soft loans or grants to help them repackage and push so they could be a major player in the industry? That will be something that could really resonate with growing that industry. There's a lot that we could do with agriculture, knowing that fuel will be a thing of the past in a few years to come. We wouldn't have the economy completely reliant on it. So if you're not switching, looking at some of your minerals that people are coming to take here for free, trying to exploit the country, you're not looking at agriculture, you're not looking at tourism, then there's a big problem coming in the future.
Actually, is a big problem that we need to begin to look at and tell ourselves some truth. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I hope it happens pretty soon. Let's quickly finish off from the Business Day newspaper. On that one this morning, you still have solar import ban risks backfiring in energy-starved Nigeria. We talked about this, I think it was 2 days ago. We talked about this. Details on page.
It's still, it reeks of insensitivity. If you're going to make production of solar panels in this country a big thing, why don't you create a large production pool of solar panels? Maybe in the 6 geopolitical regions of the country, create huge factories powered by a private public agreement. Power that, juxtapose it with what they import from outside the country. Because when you're wiring your house, you'd see your electrician tell you, no, he's going to buy Nigerian brand of Nigerian cable, because better. He knows that it is better than what he would get from those that were imported. So show Nigerians this solar panel is better, it's probably cheaper than what you are going to get from outside the country.
Are we producing solar
apparently
panels?
It does look like someone has gotten the rights to produce on a national scale.
Someone has an interest.
Yes,
and the person caters to Nigeria's need for solar panels.
It's just like
a lot of people are moving
the individual or the group that bought all the routers in the country. Yes, someone bought all the routers, or a group bought all the routers. That's why it is difficult to get a router at the moment.
An internet router.
Yes.
For all of the telcos, or for a particular telco?
He bought all that was probably imported at a particular time into the country. He bought all of it. So it's rare now. You go to some telcos, they don't have it there, but you have it on the streets. They've exhausted what they have. So just when Nigeria was trying to go digital, someone also got the franchise of buying all the set-top boxes in the country. So if someone has gotten the exclusive right to supply solar panels in the country, create production first. Let's see production of it. Let's see how efficient it is before you start banning foreign ones coming into the country, or maybe increasing the tariff for importing foreign ones, because that could be a deterrent for those who want to import, because there are different grades to this. There are solar panels you buy and you barely have any issue with it for a few years. There are some you buy and nothing comes out from it after a year. It will just be part of your
aesthetics,
your roofing.
You use it as roof.
Just be part of your roofing to protect your roof from rain and all of that. But it will be fair to be sensitive to Nigerians, because there are some Nigerians who do not have up to 5 hours of power every day, and they run businesses
and are looking to switch to alternative power, solar power, as the case is.
I remember one time where I was working.
Does government have plans to make sure, since we're banning this, that there can be a cap on the price, so that monopoly doesn't become the thing, right? So one person is producing, and then the person sets the price, makes exorbitant profits at the detriment of Nigerians.
It comes down to having the interest of over 200 million people at heart when making decisions.
Does that happen really?
It just comes down to that, because if you have the interest of many people, because you look at it's becoming a thing. You barely would go to any street and you wouldn't see at least 5 houses with some level of solar powering. It might be small, it might be large. There's some compounds you go, you see about 30 panels.
Because they've taken themselves off the national grid. They're surviving on alternative power, solar power.
It's a spite on whatever progress the government feel they have made in terms of power generation.
Have we made progress?
We can't be hovering
we're still
around 5,000
megawatts. For a country of 200 million people, the minimum we should be looking at is about 200,000 megawatts.
It might be a bit too much, but
I'm saying like standard. That's what we should.
South Africa were on 50,000 megawatts. Their projection was to get to 70,000 or 80,000 megawatts a few years ago.
Ask yourself what the population of South Africa.
You look at Egypt's population less than Nigeria. They're hitting much more than that. So even if you give Nigeria, we're seeing 5,000 megawatts being shared. Some people have 21 hours of power. Just get it to 30,000 or 40,000. If you're being too ambitious, hit 50,000 megawatts.
Do we have the transmission facility to evacuate that amount of power?
Apparently, most discos do not have the capability to run 24 hours to evacuate. Some of them do not make use of all the units of power that they have. They just distribute as much as they have capacity to do. So if you can generate that much, then it would mean the discos would either get to look for other partners that would invest more money into power infrastructure, and we're probably looking at newer cities where would have underground layering of electricity lines, so we have less tampering of those lines. You could have more secure transformers and in place in facilities where they will not be tampered with, because if you continue with this system, you still have a lot of hoodlums tamper with electricity. So it's not impossible to try to change these things. I hear in OAU, it's underground piping for electricity. You can't see any pole anywhere for electricity. So that was done many years ago. So there's no reason why we can't replicate that.
Why can't we begin to
cities
replicate that? So new estates, new residential areas are emerging. Why can't we begin
create
to
underground piping
in these new areas, and then gradually we'll now look at the older areas where you've had overhead power cables, and begin to send them underground gradually, phase by phase. Make it a national program, right? You mentioned South Africa and Egypt. South Africa, like you mentioned, is doing around 50,000 megawatts. Some years ago, we're talking about increasing to 70. Let me help us make sense of the data, right? Nigeria, with almost 200 million people, if not more, is doing just barely 5,000, with the national grid collapsing. I mean, last year was a record collapse times for the national grid, right? In fact, at some point, somebody said that the national grid needs to be put on
life support. It was epileptic.
It just keeps collapsing.
It was grossly epileptic.
Right? It kept collapsing last year.
It almost felt like deliberate sabotage.
Constantly. 1 week in collapse, 2 weeks out. By third week, you're beginning to be scared. Before the end of third week again, you hear another collapse. That's how last year was, right? Now, let's look at South Africa. For us, we're doing 5,000, which most times is not even up to 5,000. We shuttle between 3,000 and 5,000 megawatts for an entire country of over 200 million people. South Africa, according to the United Nations Population Fund, has a population of about 114.5 million. That's according to the UNPF, the United Nations Population Fund. But if you look at statistics, South Africa mid-year estimates indicates a population of approximately 63 million as at 2024. So yeah, there's some disparity in the numbers between those two data organizations, Statistics South Africa and the United Nations. Macro Trends also reports about 61.6 million for South Africa, right? Let's also look at Egypt. Now, if you look at these numbers, even if we decide to go with the higher, which is the United Nations Population Fund's data, 114.5 million, that's way less than Nigeria's population, right?
I just got a recent
over 50
estimate. South Africa is on 58,000 megawatts.
58,000.
Egypt is on 55,000 megawatts.
Now, let me even run you through the data for Egypt's population. According to the United Nations Population Fund, Egypt's total population for 2020, as at 2024, is somewhere around 114.5 million. Macro Trend reports that Egypt's population is around 100, as at 2024, 114.5 million, with projected increase to 116.3 million this year. Egypt is doing how many?
55,000.
55,000 megahertz of
megawatts
rather of electricity.
Yeah.
And South Africa is doing 58,000 currently.
Their coal power stations push at least 38,733 megawatts. And we have coal wasting in Enugu. We have coal that is being mined by people who should not be mining coal. Because there are some companies that no one really understands who had given them permission. They are mining coal to an extent in Enugu. You can't get water in some parts of Enugu. Where my family compound is, we've dug 60 meters deep and we've still not seen
water.
Good water. There's water coming from the side of the walls, but you can't see. You probably need to hit 70 meters deep or hit 90 meters deep before you see really clean water. There are places that you can't get water at all. It's just coal. So the deposit of coal and the quality of coal
is huge
you have
in
Enugu is the reason why it's called Coal City for a reason. It is just coal on that day, and you can harness this to create power. Enugu can have its own power generating plant that can power up both Ebonyi State and maybe some parts of Anambra State. They have the capacity, and there's also gas. So you could have a gas turbine also in Enugu that can power up some parts of the southeast. These are not things that are impossible.
I mean, we shouldn't be having conversations as if we're talking about going to the moon about solar. About alternative power, about power generation.
Maybe it feels like we want to explore the sun.
Nigeria
we want to
has
get
good
into the
sunlight.
sun.
We get good hours for sunlight in Nigeria, right? Imagine having solar farms for areas where there's high intensity of the sun. Imagine powering,
solar farms. There are wind turbines you could make use of.
Imagine looking at the Enugu axis and using coal to generate power. Imagine investing in that. Imagine looking at areas like Edo, Akwa Ibom, where you have gas deposits and using gas turbines to generate power in those axes. Yes, we might not be able to use a lot of water in those axes because it's salt water down that way. But then, I mean, the Shiroro part,
we have enough.
There's water.
We have enough water in this country to go round everyone.
Do you understand?
Scotland, they don't have water. They also have coal too. They don't have water,
and they are generating electricity.
They are generating electricity. They have enough water.
Enough that
there's no house you go to, you will not have water in Scotland. So there's no excuse. Absolutely no excuse.
What are we doing? What has successive governments in Nigeria since independence in 1960 been doing? Very soon it will be October again. We will roll out flags and roll out parades and roll out celebrations. Happy Independence Day will be the cheer for an entire day. What exactly, when we say independence as a nation, almost all the infrastructure that we have was either largely during the military era or pre-independence left by our colonial masters. How much has happened with expanding the transmission lines between when they were built and now? How much has happened with investing in new sources of energy to save our planet and save our environment and save the ozone layer for us in this part? How much is government doing to make life better? A lot depends on power. Production depends on power. That's why a lot of production, manufacturing companies, pharmaceuticals left Nigeria at some point.
You can't say you are independent and your leader spends 2 weeks in another country on a business trip, which you do not know what the itinerary is going to be like. That is no independence, because you can't see any leader from any first world country spend that much time away from his place on a business trip. It doesn't make any sense. it's only in this part of Africa that you see such things happen, and no one bats an
Our leaders take holiday to another country.
You go.
The U.S. president.
They won't call it a holiday. They say it's a business trip. So, what's the itinerary? Make us understand why someone who was voted by a lot of people would just go on a business trip for 2 weeks. You could say 3-day, 5-day trip. Makes sense. You stay in another sovereign nation for 2 weeks, conducting business, trying to get investment.
Those things.
And you have a foreign minister.
You have an embassy there.
You have an embassy there.
You have an ambassador.
Yeah, you've got an ambassador. You've got a minister of foreign affairs. You have these two key people.
You have diplomats. You have diplomats that can go.
You have diplomats
seal deals.
So they are not competent enough to handle your business deals for the country. So you have to go give them an extra support.
The sector that you want to go and
weeks.
get investment for, there's a minister there. He can't, go do the conversation.
Questions that they might want to answer someday.
So you understand why I say when we go to borrow the things that we borrow, whether it's legislation or the system of government that we practice, we do not even borrow the things that the people who practice that system of government does. The U.S. president goes on holiday.
You're going far.
He goes on holiday to the U.S. There, he goes to Camp David. That's like vacation for
You're
him.
going far.
He needs medical help. He uses a hospital in the U.S.
You are
Why
going
are
far.
our leaders not investing? Why do we not have a holiday resort for president? So when he wants to take a break from,
he goes to Lagos most times. That's his resort. So this other one is not a holiday.
Oh, it's a business
trip.
trip.
Business trip.
Okay.
So we have to take it for the value of the statements.
I need to understand
so
English.
you don't incite people.
I need to understand English better.
It's a business trip. It's a holistic.
What do you do on a business trip again?
It's a holistic trip. It's a magazine.
Multifaceted.
It's a magazine. From the first page of arrival to the second page down to the center spread. So it's a lot. It's a gamut of activities.
I see.
So
I see.
It takes a lot to get business done.
So when the president comes back, would he give an account of,
I wonder what that looks like.
The things that he's gone to do and the prospect, what we're looking at. Typically, when people elect you, you're serving them, right? So if you go on something on their behalf, when you come back, it would be nice to say, oh, okay, so in the 2 weeks that I spent here, I met this person, and this is the
there will be a report like that.
This is the probability of what will happen for the power sector.
Trust me, there will be a
I've
report.
spoken with investors, and something is coming for agriculture. We've been able to secure a nod for grants for farmers and fertilizer plants in so location. For healthcare, I spoke with these pharmaceuticals, and they've decided they will do business with our hospitals in Nigeria. This is what we're looking at. For vaccines, we will begin to produce vaccines locally, so that things like wild polio, meningitis, smallpox, chickenpox, hepatitis, we can produce our vaccines locally and maybe become a hub for vaccines for the West African sub-region. Do you understand? So we have a vaccine production outfit, and we're going to look at how that's measured. I don't know, but who is going to account for it?
Maybe we could talk about that again, but it's pretty difficult to ascertain what would really come out of this eventually, because it's a long stretch of time for you not to get positive results from your trip. But then again, as a leader of ECOWAS, how does he look at his member nations, knowing that some of them who are francophone are pushing away from the country he has gone to visit? But that's conversation for another day.
Okay. Well, let's take a break for some commercials, and then we will be back. Press Scoop continues shortly. Stay here.
This is
Montage 99.7 FM.
Abuja.
Yes!
T-Pumpy concept, now we dey run thing for Bodo Naija. Na mega city, we dey bring all ya domoti.
Yes, so my good people, Ogbonge one don land there again, oh. T-Pumpy concept mega city don dey show face. Promo for only 17 days for a launch sales. Will start to run from Monday, March 31. Go reach Thursday, April 17 this year, 2025. Oh yeah, sharply, come buy a plot of land in where they go there. Apo area for Waru, Abuja for chicken money. You better no miss this awufo. As the land no plenty at all. Hear me well. 500 square meter now for just 5 million naira. 300 square meter they go for 3.5 million naira. And 200 square meter they for 2.5 million naira only. Back up for your calendar. The groundbreaking of our mega city gym they come for December this year. It good make we jolly build this sweet dream together. We office them for number 12 Marufia Street, who say to Abuja. Teliwayana 090-5454-5468. T-Pumpy concept, developer that cares.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The general public is hereby advised to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Verify the licensing status of such schemes on these websites: www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng, www.fsrcc.gov.ng. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, 0707-338-4828, SEC 0209-462-1168. Announcer, FSRCC.
From Wuse to Garuki, Maitama to Sokoro, Montage 99.7 FM is proud to be Abuja's favorite. Together, we're more than a station. We are a community.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Start your day with a smile and Montage Radio.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you doing?
Stay informed, stay ahead. The biggest headlines, the hottest stories, and the analysis that matters, all in one place. Join us on Press Scoop as we break down the top stories from print and online media with expert insights and real conversations. Got an opinion? We want to hear it. Share your thoughts and reactions to the biggest headlines of the day. Weekdays from 8 a.m. on the Wake Up Abuja show, only on Montage 99.7 FM Abuja, where the news meets you.
Well, thank you so much for staying right here on Montage 99.7 FM. It's the Wake Up Abuja show. That's our breakfast show. Comes your way weekdays from 5 in the morning till 10. We've got one more hour here on the breakfast show. But real quick, Press Scoop is still on. We've got an extended version for you. Typically, the Press Scoop comes from 8 to 8:30. We'll look at the headlines on the papers. But, you know, for the last few days, we've done an extended version which runs from 8 all the way into 9:30, basically looking at the headlines and setting the tone for conversations around the headlines. Would love for you to join us and share your thoughts, right? You've been listening in. Let's know which of the headlines, which of the conversations you would love to join. What do you have an opinion on? How do you feel about these headlines and the ones that we've discussed? Which of the headlines, whether we've discussed or not, did you find on the papers that caught your attention and you'd like to share your thoughts? Join us 0705 599 9997. There's also 0705 597 9997. Those are the numbers to call. Now, you could also send a message via SMS to any of those numbers. You'll be live on the show. If you also decide to join our live stream, we are live on Facebook. Montage 99.7 FM Abuja. You'll find us on Facebook. You'll find us on YouTube also, Montage 99.7 FM on YouTube. Get in the comments for the live stream and leave your reactions. Leave your reactions. Would love to hear from you this morning. Would really love to hear from you this morning. Read your comments on Facebook, read your comments on YouTube. Would appreciate it. Now, quickly, let's get into the leadership newspaper this morning. Let's see how the headlines look on the leadership newspaper. Multinational Joint Task Force. Niger's exit will have security implications. Defense headquarters warns. Niger's exit will have security implications. Defense headquarters warns. Let's look at the riders there. Vows to eliminate terrorist kingpin, Toroji. Refutes claims of troops' welfare. Bandits kill 12 farmers, 10 others in Sokoto and Plateau. Details on page 4. I mean, we if you've been following, Nigeria's war on insecurity and terrorism, up north, you'd understand the role that the military in Niger have played in the Joint Task Force, right? And so pulling out of it at the moment, I agree with this headline. I agree with that rider. I agree with that headline. And Defense Headquarters is being quoted as saying that exit will have some security implications. I agree completely.
Because all the work they're doing within the country would have issues because we have porous borders.
That's right. And the borders we share with Niger Republic, what's going to happen there now? Do we have enough manpower? Do we have enough boots on the ground to deal with that axis where we share border with Niger Republic so that these criminals do not, strike and run across the border?
That will be exactly what would happen if they pull out.
What will happen to the forests around that axis?
You'd hear more issues like this. You just saw, you read out a headline concerning bandits who killed farmers.
12 farmers,
there is
10 others.
There is no outrage about this. These 12 farmers are humans. They are parents, uncles, maybe even aunts involved in this.
The people from that axis, can they start
the same noise
screaming?
They made about the Uromi killings? They should be making worse noise concerning these farmers, because these are not numbers. They are humans who went to look for their daily bread,
who went about their lawful business.
Just like you had the killing of those who were on their business of returning for the fast and of celebrating with their friends and family. This is also a dastardly act that needs to be made noise about from the people who live within that region, from the rest of Nigeria, especially from the north.
From every part of Nigeria, actually.
Yeah, but if the north will make noise about killings in the southern part of the country, they should also make noise about killings in their own part of
if you look at the bulk of that clamor with the Uromi issue, it was more of the state where these people were from raising concerns about their indigents that were murdered in cold blood, mob action, right?
But this one happened in Sokoto, right?
They could channel their grievances to a state where these people are from. In this case now, it's terrorists. So even if you decide to channel a grievance and put an ultimatum, who do these terrorists represent? Can you point at a particular state and say, these are your people, these terrorists? So there's also
more
that,
alarm,
also that
put
sentiment.
pressure on the government to not just sit back and not do anything.
Do you think government is sitting back and not doing anything? Have you
Are
looked
they
at
doing
have you
enough?
looked at the budget? Do you see how much goes into defense? Have you seen how much goes into military hardware and equipment? Have you seen how much, there's talk around welfare for the soldiers? Have you seen how much the state governors are investing in supplementary vehicles and
But we've also
facilities for the
seen
military?
some of them
They're doing a lot
on ground. I get what you're saying.
the
by
governors
doing a
governors
lot.
are doing a lot.
They're doing too much.
They're doing too much.
That's the thing.
They're doing too
You
much.
know, when
They're trying diplomacy, they're having meetings, they're seeking help from the federal government is doing a lot.
That's the thing.
Even the military is doing a lot.
The lot is a bit too much to stem the tide. Maybe they need to drop down because sometimes it almost looks like a sledgehammer is being used.
Too much energy can be a problem too.
I think that might be the I just have to step down to the level of those they want to eliminate, and maybe that would work out. So I thought you were going that way, but I understand where you're going to now. It's too much power.
No, but I mean,
because you've seen on ground soldiers who have been dismissed, talking about their welfare, talking about how they are being treated, talking about how they do not have as much ammunition compared to those who they are fighting.
But have you not seen their guys come out to say this thing you're saying is not true now?
They're usually dismissed.
You're paying. I mean, even the headline here, the writer to that headline also has something like that. Refutes claims of troops' welfare. Because it's not true.
Yes, because this is from
Will
the
you
source.
say you're not getting your salary?
From the source, they are telling
Will you
you
say your allowances you're not getting?
You cannot
What are you
refute
looking
what
for
the
welfare?
source is saying.
Do you understand? So everything is in place. In fact, as it stands, we're doing a lot. Were you not in this country when you heard that we have technically decimated insurgency?
Yes.
We have technically decimated.
Yes, I was in Benin Republic then.
Oh, you were in Benin Republic.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it, but I think it was said.
I just think that the military has a lot to do, and there's a lot of transparency that needs to happen with how they do what they do, right? Because you also remember in this country, at some point, there was we've killed a terrorist kingpin, and then the next time we're seeing a video from that terrorist kingpin taunting the military. Do you remember that period?
Yeah. I think that guy was killed about 6 to 7 times.
Okay.
Before he finally succumbed to the killing. I think he was killed in different ways. That I think it was on the 9th time because of his cat nature.
9 lives.
Yeah. So it was on the 9th time. 9th. It had to be the 9th time because he just died at different times. And he was still on the wanted list even after he died. So he was a
jokes apart. We need to do a lot different. And that's the truth. We need to do a lot different.
Why it annoys a lot of Nigerians, just like we mentioned a few days ago, is the capability of what we have in our military, the Navy, the Air Force.
The commitment from
the capability they have.
People.
This should not linger to this point. This should not even have lingered past a year. It should have been crushed immediately. So it does look like...
So as way back as 2000
maybe there's
2008, we should have stopped talking about insurgency.
It does look like maybe there's been some political maneuvering to make sure they do not achieve their best aim. Because you look at what they do when they go for peacekeeping, when they go for multi-nation task force jobs.
You're even going far. When there is an issue locally and the military decides to swing in, you see the way they deal with the situation very swiftly and restore calm. You've seen the Niger Delta when they sweep in and they decide to deal with when they decided to deal with militants at some point in the early 2000s. You saw how they dealt with the situation very fast. In the southeast, you see how they go in there, and I mean, when you have an operation, whether it's snake dance or whatever it is, you see how they go in there and they calm the situation in that area very quickly. So again, why is this taking so long? Why are we still having people die? 12 farmers 10 others in Sokoto and Plateau, and it looks like we're marking a tally. It looks like we do not understand that this is human life, and one alone is enough. One alone is enough. One death is enough for the entire military might and architecture of this country to come down on whoever, whether it's a spiritual force, a natural one, or a human one, that has become a bone
if you as
in
a
the throat.
If you as a civilian right now decide to create a terrorist organization,
no, don't use me.
If anyone within this Lungi street decides to create a terrorist
I would destroy it before it begins.
decides to create a terrorist organization, you shouldn't even be amazed. You would see how swift but the police, but the DSS, those who are involved, even the military will join, and they will squash it almost immediately. So why is this lingering this long? Why are we having different groups causing problems? In fact, there are about 4 different groups causing issues. The bandits have that's just their tag.
No ID.
No ID. The bandits, there's the Boko Haram, there's the ISWAP, then there's also a new one.
What's their name?
Forgotten.
Operating in this the one that's destabilizing Sokoto and some other parts now.
So you look at these 4 groups. How hard is it to actually destabilize them and make it impossible for them to exist?
These are a bunch of people who their only motivation is money and whatever else they are told. They do not have the training. They do not have the expertise.
There's no
that
ideology.
The Nigerian military
There's no religious
possesses.
ideology I think they're pushing. It's just we want to control money, we want to control power, and that's it. There's no ideology that is being pushed and you say, oh, this ideology is superior to this, so I'm fighting for this ideology. There's nothing whatsoever that's anyone has.
Let me ask
seen.
you a question. If you're going to get my drift, I'm going to try as much as I can to make it a bit open, but I hope you catch my drift. Do you think that if the federal government decides to put the same energy that it has put into dealing with illegal mining of crude, if it puts that same energy into those doing illegal mining up north, do you think that this insurgency story will be a thing of the past?
You're taking me to a place that is not nice.
Come down from the bus.
You're taking me to, because I've spoken to some people within this region since my stay here, and for some, they believe because of the plethora of let's not say plethora, that might not be the word, because of the enormity of minerals in particular parts, you have these insurgent things going on because of the protection of those things. Some people want to move it out without the government making anything from it. The government
Are they not
of
already,
those,
are they not already doing that?
the government of those
Are
regions
they not already doing
probably also want to keep those things to themselves. And how else do you do that except using external force that would make it difficult for anyone to come close? Because in those terrible places, mining still goes on that is undocumented.
Because
that is the word on the street. The word on the street is that you have mining going on in those places. You have regular bombings, killings. People are
just to
mining.
instill fear.
Yeah. So these are things that when you aggregate it, we might not be able to see the full picture because we're not there. We're not reporting from there. It's almost impossible to come out to say, hey, I'm from Montage in Abuja, and we want to get to the crux of this issue. We want to know why you're doing this while this is also happening. So it's difficult.
You might get to it on the other side of life. You might get to the crux on the other side.
So some people, I think it's in Igbo ways. They say that in chaos, you have some of the big men benefiting in chaos. So I think this chaos in some parts of the north, you have benefits going to some people, and that's why it might be difficult for our security operatives to actually do their job effectively.
So it might be impossible to kill sentiments and deal with the issue, irrespective of whose ox is God.
The sentiments are layered under stacks of FX. So
let's look at some other headlines.
let's move on. It's a conjecture anyway. I could be wrong. I stand to be corrected.
Okay.
I stand.
You can now
I
sit
sit to be corrected.
You can now sit from your standing position. Bandits fed us weekly, used us as shield. General Siga is quoted there. It's on page 16. Bandits fed us weekly, used us as shield. General Siga quoted. INEC rejects petition to recall Natasha. Is how Senator Natasha has been in the news constantly since February. Constantly in the news.
I think she also wants it that way, because this is a battle that was always going to take more than her. It was going to take a lot more. She's garnered international support. She's garnered some support by some groups. Unfortunately, where she has her daily job, she has no support from there. Everyone has vilified her. Maybe not everyone, but almost everyone has vilified her for going against the number 3 man in the nation. But for reasons best known to her, providing evidence much later, I don't know how that would help with her conversation. There are different parts of this conversation that came up earlier. Why didn't she provide that evidence leading to the ethics committee probe? She wasn't even there at the ethics committee probe. So I hope she has her things, her affairs set up right. She's a lawyer. She should know better. If she has practiced in Nigeria, she should understand the topography of Nigeria's justice system and know how to exploit it to her advantage. But if she does not have that experience, there are also rugged lawyers that she can make use of.
I like the word rugged.
Some of them also social media gurus. She could exploit some of them and make sure that she gets a particular leaning towards her when the case is heard in court, because sometimes it does look like those who have to make decisions do have some leanings. It does look like that sometimes in some cases. I wish you all the best.
Okay.
Less of helicopters.
Oh no, stop it.
Less of helicopters.
Stop it. Well, let's finish up from the leadership. World leaders condemn Trump's tariffs. That's there. Lagos pensioners gave Sanwo-Olu 14-day ultimatum. It looks like it's a season of ultimatums. Abia State health workers give ultimatum.
I think there's
Lagos
there
pensioners give
really
ultimatum.
isn't enough ultimatums. That's why a lot of things go unchallenged.
Would you want to give an ultimatum too?
Raise the price of bread in France, the price of croissant, and watch what would happen to you. They probably not give you any ultimatum. At the time I was following one of their protests, it was intriguing and funny at the time, because you had people protesting. They had mobile food there, so they knew they were not going to go anywhere. They were going to finish with that protest. We die here. They had people with grills that had tires. So you are doing your hot dog grill and meat grill, and you are still protesting about a slight change in price, and that's just coming a few euros, maybe 1 or 2 euros you change, because in regular societies or first world countries, you should be able to budget your salary for the rest of the year. That is, if you have a job for the rest of the year, and say, this is how much money I'm going to use on bread, this is how much money I'm going to use on milk, this is how much money I'm going to use on eggs, or maybe meat, or any other staple that you should be able to budget yourself, knowing that price wouldn't change. So once price tweaks up a little bit, you see everybody run crazy, because some of them are also living on mortgages too. So
they're paying mortgages.
You have a particular plan for your mortgage. So once anything tweaks about it, tweaks on that your budget, you go crazy.
You
You see the those who work at train stations say they're not working unless you sort out this issue, and no train will run. Airport staff could have their own. You have different unions. So I don't think we're doing enough here, because there are some things that are just done to test the waters to say, oh, are they going to react? Oh, they don't react. Even if you're reacting, they bring anti-protesters. Because it's such a beautiful country.
God.
Anti-protest.
No.
Like, I'm protesting about something, and someone comes to say, no, don't protest. It's perfect. It's so good.
And then when you ask the person, about that
why
thing,
you
about that
why
thing
you
the
doing
person is
anti-protest?
protesting against,
I don't even know.
the person now tells you that thing being expensive. Because, so why are you out here?
I don't know. They just called us to come out here.
They called us and give us shit. and give us banner. Okay, so read what you have on your placard. Oh, now it's in a talk. I don't know. Then just call us, give us.
Exactly my point. So it's such a beautiful country where things like this. If we had, and if labor was really working in this country, I think a lot of things will sit up. If labor was working and judiciary was really for the people, I think a lot of things would really.
The judiciary is for the people.
Is it though?
It is for the people.
Is it though?
It is for the people. I think that the judiciary has done its best. For me, the problem most times is the weight of evidence taken to it, because I mean it won't base its decision on anything. It won't pull judgments out of the air.
Same judiciary.
The judiciary
that
would
pulled
give
off
judgment
that pulled off a
based
decision
on evidence.
Yeah, same.
Based on arguments, based on technicalities.
There's also a human side
maybe when you want to go,
interpretation.
Maybe when you want
law.
to go get justice, Richie, get a good lawyer.
I agree with that.
Get one that knows how to look for loopholes.
I agree with that. But there's also humanity ingrained in the law, to an extent. Yes, facts are sacred and facts must be the ground for making certain judgments. But I was just reading, it was the last week or 2 weeks ago, a gentleman who was attacked in his farm. He fought back, killed his attacker, and he's going to face the death penalty for self-defense. So even if you had a terrible lawyer and the judge is seeing the facts of the matter, how do you adjudge such case to be so, knowing that it will be a precedent for other cases to come? You would have people going to law school studying that case.
Why did you go with a bad lawyer that put you in this situation?
But it's your judgment that will be read. It is a judgment that will be studied. Not really enough about the lawyer.
Judgment based on the facts brought before the court.
You don't see all the arguments.
Judgment
in the judgment. You see the judgments from what's.
You see the judgment, but if you want things to favor you, if you want to get out of that matter,
what kind of with the financial issues we have in this country, what type of lawyer would a farmer be able to afford?
There are civil society organizations that like this kind of issues and would offer services pro bono.
Let's not make excuses.
I'm not making excuses. I mean,
this kind of decision.
There is a way that the justice system works anywhere in the world.
That's why I said you need to have.
So the question is, you cannot afford a good lawyer. Did you reach out to organizations that can help you?
I think it will be appealed. We're looking at the governor of the state to commute his sentence.
There's legal aid.
And probably give him a pardon.
There's civil society organizations. You definitely belong to a religious body.
Maybe
so nobody could help you find a good lawyer that can manage this case for you and help you come out better. So that's the concern. People don't pay attention to these things, and then they say the judge was unfair. The judge is not there for you. He's not there for anybody. He's there for the meat of the matter. He's going to look at the arguments. He's going to look at the facts placed before him. He's going to look at the evidences.
If you say so, it's okay. It's fine. It's okay.
No, understand how these things work.
I understand how it works, but
judges are doing a lot.
Yes.
Even in the face of threats, harassment, monies are thrown at them most times and they reject it.
They reject it, but they also accept.
They turn down the offers.
But they also accept accommodation from the executive, don't they?
What kind of accommodation are you talking about?
Comfortable accommodation that will protect them from assailants.
So if I decide as chief judge, the governor says, judges do not have a lodge. As state governor for everybody, let me build a lodge that makes it easy for you to do your job. Are you supposed to reject it? Does the judiciary raise its own money? Is it not money?
Yes, they have their own budget.
They have their own budget.
They are autonomous.
They are autonomous.
According to
Where does the money come from? Who raises the money that goes to them? They draw up a budget. Who raises the money that goes to them?
Send them their money. Let them build their own accommodation.
When the money goes to them, whether it's enough or not, and they come back to me as governor and they say, His Excellency, just like you're another arm of government, we're also another arm of government, but we need vehicles to do our job for this.
For the layman,
for the layman, and so I decide as governor to give you vehicles
for the layman
to
who
make your job easy, to give you some level of comfort.
The legal process of schooling and going to law school, it does smack off some levels of dependence.
That's why you should not conclude. Ask questions. If you don't have the knowledge, ask questions. As I don't share this knowledge with you now, you go out and share the knowledge with others.
That's joking,
the way
because
it works.
How do you allow your executive provide you with houses?
Would you say
then the executive also has cases in your courts? How do you expect me to believe that you will not be biased?
Have you not
if
seen,
you have benefited from a gift from the
cases,
executive, how do I expect you not to be?
Have you not seen cases that governors who have supported the judiciary with houses?
When you're coming to the house of equity,
have you not?
What do you come with?
You come with hands that are well washed. If you find water, you wash it.
How can you say your hand is well washed when you accepting a gift? How?
What is it called?
Why should you collect a gift?
What is it called? A gift. It's not a bribe. It's a gift. There is nowhere in the Constitution that you cannot accept gifts.
I'm going to laugh at this.
Is there anywhere in the Constitution that you cannot accept gifts?
I'm worried.
No. I put it to you, Richie.
I'm worried.
Point me to a part of the Constitution that says you do not have a right to accept gifts.
I think there's a problem. It's a systemic issue. It's affected.
See, you have been jumping now. You've not been able to quote the Constitution that says you cannot accept gifts.
Why should you collect?
Why should you not accept
Richie?
I come to work and I
from
say,
a body of government that you are supposed to supervise and hold accountable.
I come to work and I say, my guy, I want to buy you lunch today. You say no, so that when my interest or my matter comes to your table,
when I'm about to, if I want to audit you now.
Sorry,
and before
Auditor General,
before I audit you, you take me to where they sell
you
a roasted yam.
You come to me and you say,
what do you expect from me?
You come to me and you say you've not had, and I say,
what do other staff expect from me? If I'm about to audit you,
should you not, even if I bought you roasted yam, did I buy your conscience?
If I have your case, if I have your case on my table and you're buying me lunch or you're buying me some brews,
should it stop you? Should it stop you from doing the right thing?
It will affect my sensibility.
How? Then you should not be there.
It will affect
my
bias.
No, you should not be there. Why do you even have bias in the first place? You should be objective. You should look at the matter dispassionately.
I agree.
You should be just and fair. And seen to be fair.
You see, the problem is when
there is no problem.
When you're running with this level of sarcasm, you really don't check the time.
No, it's not sarcasm.
And we're
not sarcasm. It's not sarcasm. I'm going to sue you. Prepare. We'll meet in court. Because the way you're going about these matters, I'm
not sure of what kind of result I will get.
You will make me go pick up my law degree and.
You do have a law degree.
It depends on the law you're talking about. The 10 Commandments is a law. Well, that's about the size of it right here on Press Scoop. On a lighter note, thank you so much. It's a wrap for the week. It's been an amazing week. Thank you for being part of it day in, day out. We're back on Monday again with the Press Scoop from 8. Thank you, Richie.
It's a pleasure.
We'll meet in court.
I'm looking forward to it.
UG Bamidele be my name. Stay here. The rest of the Wake Up Abuja show continues.
.7 FM.
Abuja.
Yes!
From the classics you love to the hits you can't stop playing.
Back into time.
Montage 99.7 FM brings you the perfect mix. Adult contemporary music right here in Abuja.
Hey, yeah.
I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Every little thing that goes wrong, we start to blame the government. We know everything that goes wrong because we are part of the government. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Inefficiency and indiscipline is ruining the country now. Corruption here, there, and everywhere. Inflation is soaring high. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Knowing that was our doom. Some people now have everything, while many, many have nothing. Let's save Nigeria, so Nigeria won't fall. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way Nigeria? Revolution is a reality. Let's give it a chance to grow. Let's join our hands to farm the land so we can have enough food to show. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh sure. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Our ambition to be millionaires is running the country down. We all want to be millionaires and to live in the air. Oh, let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Remember that a simple step is the beginning of a million miles. Let's start start right now to repeat ourselves so as to make the country smile. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh sure. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way Nigeria is heading to? Heaven and earth will pass away. It is written in the book of God. The good people will surely find their ways, and the meek will inherit the world. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't fall. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yes. I want to know. We want to know. Which way Nigeria is heading to? Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know. Which way Nigeria is heading to? One more time. Which way Nigeria is heading to? Let's save Nigeria. Which way Nigeria is heading to? Ooh, yeah. Which way Nigeria is heading to? Which way Nigeria is heading to? One more time. Which way Nigeria Amen.
Good morning, my neighbors.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Start your day with a smile and Montage Radio.
Good morning, my neighbor. How are you? Big Zephyr. Big Zephyr. Big Zephyr. Big Zephyr.
First of all, rest in peace, Virgil Abloh. Don't spill no drink on my clothes when I'm Louis V dripping. Don't like stress in my dome. Straight to the head when I'm 1942 sipping. Been wavy since morning. Not to talk to me in public. Mix my drink with a little money. Smoke my to the oh, Lamborghini driver. Ferrari 458 Italia. I really spent $1 million just to Richard Millis and I run willy-nilly through the city. Wavy since London, wavy since Paris. None of they talk to me in public. I'm in a different place. If you see me tonight, you can clearly see that I've been wavy since morning. Alright, R.I.P. to Situ. Put your hands up, reach for the roof if you know you with me. Don't like squares in my crew. If I call you my brother, then you best believe you stuck with me. Been wavy since morning. I no go feed save you from nothing. So I beg you not disturb me. I know they carry overload. Get to gospel preacher, two-time community service preacher. Right now I'm chilling for my getting busy in the city, spinning till late to see for the lizard. Wavy since London, wavy since Paris. No, no, they talk to me in public. No, they talk to me in public. Wavy since Sweden, wavy since Paris. So no, they talk to me in public. I'm in a different place. If you see me tonight, you can clearly see that I've been wavy since morning. Big Zep. Big Zep. Big Zep. Big Zep. Big Zep. Big Zep. Big Zep.
Drink is getting my head. Plenty for cup. I'm gone. Plenty people for section. They are looking for attention. Oh Lord. Emi Timothy move chop multi. You go there, the bed for the coro. It's a vibe anytime that we turn up. Emi Timothy, chop multi. You go there, the bed for the coro. When the jazzy song comes on. But this year I want $1 billion more. Am I feeling like I need me or what? Make it come and reach like to the on top. You dey call and I dey busy of course. It's been a roller coaster riding in my head. One more round, see evidence is all around. Suffering and smiling, you're around. No grief for person, come around. All that I am, intelligence is number one. Something that stress you, cut them off. Must plenty on the moon.
I keep on trying till you get me so far. I am deeper than the ocean, further than the eye can see. I am looking for an option. Situation got me hide and seek. Deeper than the ocean, further than the eye can see. I am looking for an option. Situation got me hide and seek. I ask me what I'm thinking, I'm just reminiscing. Cinema looking for remedy. Bigger man want to go paradise. This thing got me feeling I've been born overseas. Judas betrayed Jesus with kiss. Before I was born, I wish I can see. Every man deserves to be man of the year. But that man, why you fear? Everyone deserves to be loved and be cared for, but no love to share. Malota fún wọn lérò. Malọ̀sùn malọ̀jà bọ̀. Malọ̀tẹ̀lé wọn ṣe bọ̀. Yeah, for the getaway, then I dare the matter they suck. Wait, you know they solve, plenty things you done they solve. If I follow talk the matter, no be say I just won't talk. Plenty things they solve, and I really got to talk. Mother selling picking and the father married daughter. Just for the money and the boy killing papa. Little should they hawking and the government by the water. Fake life, fake news, who they talking matter? Deeper than the ocean, further than the eye can see. I am looking for an option. Situation got me hide and seek. Many things on my shoulder. I keep on trying till you get me so far. Deeper than the ocean, further than the eye can look everyone else. Looking for an option.
More mix.
You're tuned in to
Montage 99.7 FM.
Abuja.
I met a man when I was out, and his eyes were such a different shade of brown. I liked his vibes, I took his number before I left. All night long he was on my mind. So I sent him a text that said, call me. I was thinking.
have eye bags. What's going on?
Eye bags. Do I?
Kinda. Were you up all night working?
Nah, I woke up early though to prep, so apart from that, not too much.
You don't do night work.
Which kind of night?
I don't know. I'm just asking.
I'm a night owl, so.
Suspected. It's okay.
No, but I didn't do any owling.
It's okay. No problem. Just go do your confessions and ask forgiveness. You'll be fine. You understand?
I'll consider that.
Well, I'm sure you've got a big show for the after morning, guys, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm going to stick around and listen. I like the music that goes on the after morning show. So, yep, guys, stick around and enjoy every bit of it. Dio to the TUN and Leo, not Cleo. That's what she says her name is. So why is she not Cleo? Well, you find out. Ask her. I'm out of here. I'll catch you when we come back on Monday on the Wake Up Abuja show, The World in 5 with Ari Tefanga in 3 minutes from now. Let's leave you with this jam from Ashake. It's titled Basket. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Tune into the king of songs and blues.
23, 24, she be I tell them before me, then stop to defend the fall. She like, yeah, one bong, if they don't, be the rubber, I got the ball. Tell me what to do, I can't do, me I know skid that do. Tell me what to do, I know beyond to. Then bad with my bad move, boy I got to can do. Them small shit I can do. Walking poetry, I am greater. Walk over to Gaskia, now Gaskia, what I love ya. Now one no time for drama. Walking poetry, I am greater. Walk over to Gaskia, now Gaskia, what I love ya. Now one no time for drama. El Chapo, Ebenezer obey the commander. Capon the duty. I'm on one, what did you ginger? I'm guilty, that's my swag, get a kill. I don't go up you, no it's hard to swallow the pill. Then I gym, then I hit me, though I kill. Shout out to my space, my mama, and she be my queen. Oh go, Talubo Mogo, Kanu Ugo, Dumbo, I'm a call, no Omoko, only rocko, you mill on ton for your con, yeah. All I saw me, pity too party, I too bad. You could feel I'm like all those too drag. I know the booka, be booka, never lose, God, can't catch the way we did do right. Study me, I know, John, I get many pages like songs for Solomon. All I know, be more, could you wallet, like, till we reach, I don't know. 23, 24, she be I tell them before, me, let's stop to defend the fall. She like, yeah, one bong, if they don't, be the ball. Now one no time for drama. El Chapo, Ebenezer obey the commander. Capon the duty. I'm on one, what did you ginger? I'm guilty, that's my swag, get a kill. I don't go up you, no it's hard to swallow the pill.
Good morning, Abuja. What's on your breakfast menu? How about a hot serving of fresh music, breaking news, lifestyle trends, sport updates, weather reports, and everything.
Good morning. This is The World in 5 minutes on Montage 99.7 FM Abuja. The federal government has ordered the reopening of the Independence Bridge in Lagos following a massive gridlock that left millions of commuters stranded for hours on Wednesday. In an official statement, Lagos Federal Controller of Works, O.I. Kisha, confirmed that the Minister of Works, David Umahi, had directed the immediate reopening of the bridge to restore normal traffic flow. The ministry explained that while the closure was initially planned for rehabilitation works, the decision to reopen was necessary to ease the overwhelming transport disruptions experienced by residents. Authorities have assured the public that palliative measures will be implemented on the bridge, even as long-term repair plans remain in place. South Korea's Constitutional Court has delivered a landmark ruling unanimously voting to remove President Yoon Suk Yeol from office following his controversial declaration of martial law, which plunged the nation deeper into political turmoil. Beyond his removal from office, Yoon has been arrested on insurrection charges in a separate criminal case, a development that has only intensified public and potential tensions. Yoon's removal takes effect immediately, setting the stage for a fresh presidential election within 60 days. Authorities are expected to announce the official election date soon as the nation scrambles to restore political stability. In the meantime, political parties are already maneuvering to position themselves for the upcoming votes, aware that the next leader will face the enormous task of regaining public trust and steering the country forward after months of crisis. In a bold move that escalated global trade tensions, United States President Donald Trump imposed sweeping tariffs